generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome to Game Nights with Dyad. Today we are talking about the Don't Wake Daddy board game. This is one of Sarah and mine's favorite board games from our childhood, and so we thought we would share with all of you to go ahead and talk about how to set up and play the game. So in a minute we're going to do that. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what the age group is. This game is aimed at preschool age, ages 3 and up, and you're going to want 2 to 4 players. So now that we've talked about who this game is for, let's go ahead and talk about how to set up the game and then how to play the game. First things first, the assembly. So we have to go ahead and put the bed together. There's a couple of pieces. We have to put this piece together. It just kind of slides right into the bottom of the bedpost there. Daddy is a little bit tricky. There are 2 plastic prongs inside there. Not too sure if we can get a good shot of that. But they do slide right in. You do have to push with a little bit of force because if it's like me, my first time doing it, he just kept popping out of the bed every time. So make sure it is in there nice and secure. You'll know that it's secure because the daddy will actually go all the way down and stay put. Let's see. Oh, and then we also have the stickers that we have to do for assembly. So check out the stickers in the box, put them in the right places, and then you should be all good to go. Now it's time to set up the game. So we have the game board here, and we can see here with the dotted or dashed lines, whichever you want to call it, that's where Daddy's bed is supposed to go. So we're going to go ahead and put Daddy's bed there in the spot. Again, we're going to have to put them all the way down, push until you hear a click, and you should be good to go with Daddy. If you would like to, you can go ahead and put his little hat on him as well. It should slip right in there, like so. Now that we have Daddy's bed set up and he's set back and sleeping, we have to pick who we want to be in the game. And the game comes with a whole bunch of these cards. There is green, red, blue, and yellow to choose from. And each one of these also has a little boy and little girl version, so you pick whichever one you want. There are only 4 stands though, however. There's 8 to choose from, 4 stands, so only 4 people can play. Next we got the Don't Wake Daddy cards. These cards all have different spots on the board on these cards. What you'll want to do is shuffle the cards and then deal them out to all the players that are currently playing the game. If you have 3 players, there will be 1 extra, so you're going to want to put that aside as a free space for all players. After we have all those set out, you also want to make sure that you have your spinner. That does have 2 pieces to put together there. We want that all set to go too. The last thing to do for setup is you want to take your player and you want to put them on the color bed near the starting line before you start your game. Next, we're going to talk about gameplay. So once we have the cards, the Don't Wake Daddy cards, split up amongst all the players will place these cards face up in front of them. So for example, if we had 2 people, somebody will have 8 cards here, and then the other player will have 8 cards. And what these cards are they are basically spaces that protect you from having to click the button for Daddy's bed. So as we're traveling around the board, if we land on a space that matches one of our cards, we do not have to go ahead and click the Daddy's alarm button here. So let's go ahead and move these off of the board so we can take a look at the board itself and what's going on. So on your turn, you're going to want to go ahead and spin the spinner, and whatever color it lands on, for instance the yellow, you're going to go to the next color of that space. So if we're at the start, we're going to go to the next yellow for this example. The first one that I spun here is the special one, the purple star with the white. And what that is it means go to the space in front of the player that is currently leading. So if we have a player way up here and we have a player here and we roll that, or we spin the white one, that means we're going to go one right in front of that person. So once we've actually spun the spunner and we got to the spot we're supposed to be, we want to check to see if we have the picture that is associated with the space. So if our player here does not have that card, we're going to go ahead and click the Daddy's alarm clock 4 times because that's what's here on the board. If the player does have the matching card for the picture on the space, then we do not have to do any pushes here, and it is the next player's turn. And then we just basically keep on going, taking turns, spinning the spinner to see who eventually gets to the finish line, which is the fridge. So the first one around the board to get to the refrigerator wins. To get to this spot, you have to be on a color where if you spin a color, that next color isn't in front of you. It's going to be this spot, this space here. So for instance, if we are on the red spot right here and we spin red, there's no other reds in front of us, so we would go to the finish line. The last space to talk about here are the blank spaces. So we have spaces around the board that don't have pictures, and if they don't have pictures, we don't have to worry about pushing the button or seeing if we have the card that matches a picture on it. They're basically a free space, so we don't have to worry about waking Daddy. If we do wake Daddy, we're pushing that button tons and tons of times, and eventually Daddy's gonna wake up. If you happen to wake up Daddy on your turn, you have to go all the way back to your starting bed, and then you find the player that has the picture associated with the spot you were on. So if our player here was on this space and they hit the button and Daddy woke up, we would say, okay, we need the fruits and the bowl. So we would look for the player that had that one, and then we would now take that for our pile of cards. So once you get that card from the player that had the card from your spot, you're going to want to go back to the bed and you're going to want to reset Daddy and put him back to sleep for the next player to get a pleasant surprise. That's how we play Don't Wake Daddy. Again, we're trying to get to that finish line, and the first one there wins. Alright everybody, so that is today's game for game nights with Dyad. Again, we looked at Don't Wake Daddy, one of our favorites from our childhood. It is from 1992, so it's actually older than us. So we're not as vintage as the game is. But if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, as we are trying to make board games more a thing here on our channel. Drops a like if you liked the video, and drops a comment letting us know if you have played Don't Wake Daddy before, what cool memories do you have, and what board games do you look forward to in the future here on the channel. And then, as always everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.